Before we start the presentation today, let's pause 1 minute here just to acknowledge the land that we are on. Maybe you're from everywhere in Canada, maybe you're from abroad, but really connect maybe your feet to the ground and think of where you're joining from. For us at Royal Roads University, we are located on the traditional lands of the Kasaksum and Lekwungen families, also known as the Esquimalt and Songhe nations. So we're really grateful to learn from those peoples, to learn from Indigenous and non-Indigenous people from the past, present, and future. You can use the chat option to introduce the land that you're joining from and let us know maybe your name and what you're looking to learn today in that 30-minute session. And I will pass it to our program head, Leslie King.
Thank you very much, Nancy. And thank you everyone for coming. A couple of you I've already corresponded with, and I'm delighted to see you on the call. As Nancy said, my name is Leslie King. My Nisga'a Tsimshian name is Huksuk-Sok-Slipun, and I'm a killer whale. I have with me today other people who are designing and teaching the program, Megan Hamilton and Michael Lickers. Megan, could you introduce yourself? And then I'll ask Mike to introduce himself.
Sure. So, Sego Sawa Aguego. Hello, everyone. My name's Megan Hamilton. I'm Ganyange Haga from Six Nations of the Grand River territory on my mother's side, and settler Irish Canadian on my father's side. I've been an environmental professional for the last 25 years, and I'm also an alumni of Royal Roads. I did my master's and PhD at Royal Roads, so I'm very excited about this program because I loved going to school at Royal Roads, and yeah, I hope you're excited too. Nice to meet you all.
Michael.
Hey, amazing human beings. My goodness, we're here. It's getting ready and getting close. So thank you. I'm from the same place as Megan is. So that's great, from Six Nations of the Grand River. But I'm currently living out in Treaty 7 territory, which is the traditional lands of the Blackfoot Confederacy, the Siksika, Kainai, and Piikani people, and the Tsuut'ina and Stoney Nakoda nations, the Bearspaw, Chiniki, and Wesley bands. It's also home to Métis Nation Region 3 and all of us other Indigenous peoples that call this amazing place home. I'm super excited. This is an opportunity to dive into, the interest and the passion that's required for leadership in a new world. Like, this is going to be so exciting and so interesting and so well needed and deserved in this country, in this world at this time. If you think about all of the things that are going on in the world, the complexities and the challenges, this is one of the great programs that will give you the opportunity, a stepping stone, let's say, in order to move forward in that great place. So I'm excited. I'll pass it back to you, Leslie, and we'll go from there.
We have a third person who is developing the program and teaching in it, Candace Wilson from Haisla. And Candace, could you please introduce yourself?
Thanks, Leslie. As Mike said, hello, amazing people. So I'm Candace Wilson. I live in Kitimat Village, home of the Haisla Nation. And I also have roots in Nisga'a. So my dad is from Kincolith. And same as Megan, I'm an alumni of Royal Roads University, and I'm super excited to welcome the students to this program. And the first cohort will be super exciting, and it'll be a learning experience for myself as well as you. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Megan, Mike, and Candace. So wonderful to be working with you on this so exciting program. We're going to whip through some details about it, but first Nancy's going to talk a little bit about the university, and then we'll talk about the details of the program, and then we'll answer your questions, which is the most important part of this session.
Yeah, you're so right, Leslie. I think we want this discussion to be a dialogue, so feel free to ask some question in the chat. If I can just say a few highlights from the programs, and I know all of you will share more, but this is a new program, free, 100% online, because at Railroads University, we like to work. We work mostly with working professionals, so people who can still work and learn. So I think this is a great deal. And instructors, you heard a little bit from all of them. So really instructors that bring a lot of expertise and kind of the human side into this program. Simple admission process, and as well as ECO Canada. And I saw that Hannah from ECO Canada is in the room today, so feel free to ask questions. But this program was developed in partnership with ECO Canada, which is such an important organization in Canada, with a lot of connection for you after the programs. Do you want to add anything to this, Leslie, or you want to maybe chat about the courses and the admission?
Yeah, I'll move along, but first I'd like to introduce Erin Edwards, who's the school manager of the School of Environment and Sustainability. And for any of you who become students in the program, you will be getting to know Erin very well. Erin, do you want to say a word or two?
Thank you so much, Leslie. No, I just want to say that I'm really excited to see so many of you here today and to be moving forward with such amazing people leading this program. And it's a very exciting process that we've been going through, and just excited for what's to come. So I hope to eventually see all of you as students at Railroads in this program.
Thank you. Thank you, Erin. Can we move the slides, Nancy, and
Yes.
move along? Okay, as most of you know by now, the program encompasses 4 courses that take place one after another throughout the time of the program. Program starts on August 8th with Mike's course, IELP 200, Introduction to Indigenous Environmental Leadership. Mike himself is an Indigenous environmental leader, and he has taught in our leadership program here, and is the Indigenous Scholar in Residence. Is that correct, Mike? Thank you. And then the next course really gets into the nitty-gritty of what environmental leaders face in the nations in Canada. And these are problems ranging from water quality, drinking water quality, that you know is a serious problem in Canada, and all the way through to global problems such as climate change and the loss of biodiversity, which we also experience in our communities. And then the third course, which is the second course, is Megan's course, and the third course is Candace's course, where she really gets into what tools we have available to address these environmental issues in the nations and communities. Sorry, my dog wants to take the program. And then the final course, which I should tell you about, is the Practicum. And in this course, in a series of assignments that prepare you, work in your community in some environmental capacity. And ECO Canada has generously, she's sick, so generously provided each student with $1,000 to help them set up and complete their practicum in an organization in their communities. So those are the 4 courses, 3 credits each, 12 credits total. And as you might notice, this program is called a Pathways program, because we're hoping it will lead right into the bachelor's program, Bachelor in Environmental Practice, or other bachelor's programs at Royal Roads or elsewhere. Thanks, Nancy. We can move now. So the first program is offered free, but unfortunately we have conditions on that first program. The conditions are those of the funder, which is the federal government of Canada, unfortunately. And so students have to be no more than 31 years of age and have identified themselves as Indigenous. And next year, The program will start not in August, but in September, and there will be no age restriction. There's in small print here, it says no age restriction, but I really want to emphasize that because I don't like the age restriction. And I know that some of you are probably more than 31 years of age.
Wonderful.
So those 4 courses take about 10 months. And so starting in August and ending in June. Okay.
And ending in June.
Moving along,
Perfect.
I'd like to give the others a chance to chime in here. Here's how to apply, and with my and Megan's contact information there.
Yeah. And I think, Leslie, I just want to add, you're right about the admission process. Maybe some of you are familiar with Railroads, and normally you would go online and apply. But for this pilot program, people can reach out to rru-ses@railroads.ca, and we go from there. And you have a few documents to share with us. But it's a bit different for this first year, if I understand well.
Yes, it's really an accelerated, simplified admissions program. You will notice here that we're saying that the application deadline is July 24th. Royal Roads has a process whereby we review each application as it comes in and accept it or reject it or put it on a wait list. And so if you want to be assured of getting into the program, I strongly recommend that you get your applications in very quickly. They wouldn't take more than an hour or so to complete, and you need a single reference. So it's not a difficult application process, but you do need to get them in early. Thank you.
Wonderful. And I'll make sure to include all the information in the recording link that we will send everyone. So I'll just go ahead and stop sharing. Perfect. And now we can see everyone.
Great. So Megan, Candace, Michael, do you have anything to add here? I love your cat, Victoria.
I will add the simplified application process. If it was similar to the Indigenous Economic Development course program, it is super simple compared to any regular admissions at a university. So take advantage while you can.
Yeah, next year we'll go back to the regular admissions process. Not quite as easy, but still pretty easy. Don't be discouraged. Megan.
I just wanted to say how that the program is designed for students who are working, part-time or full-time, and they would like to go to school at the same time. And that's why a lot of us have chosen Royal Roads as the school we wanted to go to, because you're able to do that. Everything's 100% online for this program. So yeah, you'll be able to work. It's great if you're doing environmental work in your community already. That's ideal. You can really relate the course content to your work, and will be quite flexible in accommodating, any community or family obligations you have. So we want to see everyone succeed in the program, and yeah, it'll be great.
Michael, you gave a wonderful beginning.
Yeah, people often have taglines for marketing reasons and stuff, and I think one of the taglines at Royal Roads is "Live your learning" and apply it. And I would say that is definitely one of the great gifts that Royal Roads University has to offer you as a student, is that it's applicable to your current workplace, even just your life. And as leaders going into this field, you want to challenge yourself, you want to gain new skills and knowledge to better your communities. And what an amazing way to do that, at the same time getting educated and getting university sort of education, at the same time applying that in your community. So like Megan said, this is really a wonderful opportunity to advance your skills and your knowledge at the same time you could be working. I remember when I did my master's thesis, I wrote the final part of my master's thesis in the jungle in Guyana. And then I got back to Georgetown to internet connectivity and started sending all my documents off. So there is an opportunity to be super flexible in how we do things. We're just hoping that the people that are there are going to be fully engaged. And you know, the more you put into something, the more you're going to get out of it. That's all I'm going to say right now. I would be super excited to see everybody here on the call in the sessions, and then we can continue on from there. So thanks.
Thank you so much, all of you. Asmanahai, would you like to say a word or two? Because Asmanahai runs an organization that will be supporting all of you.
Thank you, Leslie. And I'm so excited as I am sitting here listening. I'm already drafting up emails to send out to the different nations to say, you know, find somebody within your community to sign up for this amazing opportunity. I am grateful to the vision. I'm grateful to the dream, and I'm grateful for the work that's going to take place from Michael, Candace, and Megan. So excited for this opportunity to carry forward, and that Pathways program into some of the urgency that we see within our on Mother Earth, that urgency we see within building relations, that urgency we see about wanting to do things in the right way and walking together. So I am grateful. I am grateful to each and every one of you, and please feel free along the journey to reach out, to connect at any time throughout while you're teaching, while you're studying, you know, just those aha moments. I want to hear a lot about those aha moments, and I'm really grateful. For those who don't know me, my name is Asmanahai. It means caring for precious ones, and it comes from my late mother Vera Thompson's family from Toquat and Clayoquot Nation of Nuu-chah-nulth lands. My last name, Antoine, comes from my late father, Eugene Antoine, from Saikas Nation, from Carrier-Sakani lands, which is central northern BC. And I also have ties into Dididat Nation on my father's side as well, which is Nuu-chah-nulth. So Carrier Nuu-chah-nulth, I am the Director of Indigenous Engagement here at Railroads, and I've been a family member for 9 years now. And I'm just grateful to be able to sit in circle with you today and hear what's happening, and just, you know that you have my full support. And again, just honored that you gave me an opportunity to say a few words, Leslie.
Not at all. Thank you so much, Asmanahai, our precious one. Okay, have we got questions? I hope so. That's the whole purpose of this. So could we move into the chat?
There is one that just popped in the chat, Leslie, from Kelsey. Could you see it? Or I can read.
Yes, from Soto. Good. Mike, greeting, Mike.
Kelsey, wow. That's so cool to see your name there. Yeah.
Okay, time commitment. There are no synchronous classes. You do everything on Moodle. So everything that you do is on your own time, whenever you choose to do it. And everything you need is on the Moodle platform, which you access from your computer. So all your readings, resources, and there are also fora. And so each forum allows you to communicate either with your fellow students, with Megan and me, or with Michael, or with Candace. And so my estimate about the time commitment is somewhere around 6 hours a week. That's an hour a day, basically. Some people will need more time depending on your reading speed, your writing speed, etc. And some will probably need less. But that's my guess at the moment. I'm notoriously bad at this guess, but I'm hoping that that's about what it will be. If there are any synchronous classes, and there might be if the instructor chooses to have a guest into the course. And I'm hoping that will happen because there's lots of wonderful environmental leaders out there that we'd love to hear from. So in that case, if you can come on in person, that's great. But we are dealing with 4 time zones across Canada. So everything will be recorded and you can watch them at your leisure. So there's absolutely no situation in which you would need to be there in person. Sometimes at the end of the course, we have student presentations to the class, and those do take place synchronously, but we accommodate people. We give you a time when it's convenient for you. And once again, if you absolutely cannot do it, I always arrange to have student presentations mounted on the Moodle site so everyone can look at them. I hope, Kelsey, that answers your question. Okay, yeah, Monique has a question, and thanks, Aaron, for putting that up. The programs that the pathways lead to, the main one that I have in mind is the Bachelor of Environmental Practice. But there's also interdisciplinary studies, leadership studies. What else do we have at the undergraduate level? Someone's got to come in and help me here. Nobody's helping me.
Well, I think also in communications and areas
Yes,
that,
thank you.
it's like these are transferable into multiple areas within railroads. You have such an amazing team of people here to support you. We have Nancy and we have Aaron. These are the people that you ask those kinds, and they can give you the streams and connection points. But certainly at an undergrad level, there are a lot of connections that will launch you to different places. And as you're doing that, I hope you hear my voice consistently in this time of your academic world, is that don't stop. Just keep going and advancing your education as you go. It's beautiful to see people come in for the very first time into courses who've been either away from school for a long time, who have been disconnected from it and get all panicking and stressed. And as soon as they get into it, it's almost like you can't stop them. And the next thing you know, you'll be sitting in the same programs as Megan and I in our doctorate of social sciences at Railroad.
Quite right. Thank you, Mike.
Thank you for
Yeah.
sharing that, Michael. Yeah, that was another question that I got in the chat. Someone was asking, I've been away from school, can I get into the program? And I think, as most programs at Railroad, it's a yes, because you'll have kind of that support from your peers and instructors to cheer you up and bring you back to speed.
I would like to add that these programs will also go across Canada into other programs at other universities. The credits are transferable, and similarly, the credits that you may have from somewhere else can transfer into Royal Roads. Diploma in Natural Resource Management.
Hey, Matt, I think that that's fantastic. And it's also an amazing opportunity to share some of your knowledge with the rest of the class. Like even if you went back and took a diploma again in some kind of resource management, you'd always learn something new. You'd always glean something different from every course that you take. So I would encourage you to consider it, and also think that the information that you have, you'll be able to share with the rest of your peers.
Thank you.
And
Also,
Leslie, sorry, I don't want to interrupt. I got a question, and this is something we talked about by email yesterday as well, about some people identify as non-Indigenous members.
yes.
What is your answer to that? Could they get in this year, or should they wait 2023?
They cannot get in this August because the condition of the funding is that they do identify as Indigenous. However, next year, the program will start in September again and subsequent years, and we will always take some non-Indigenous people, especially those people who are working with Indigenous communities. Anthony, lead into any graduate master's programs. Yes, we have a master's program in environmental practice, another in environmental management, and many, many more at the university that Mike could tell you all about, and that Candace was involved in, the MA in environmental communication and education, something like that, and of course the PhD program. And so this is a matter of accumulating credit. So this is a 12 credit program, and you need 60 credits to get into the bachelor's program. And then of course you need to graduate to get into the graduate programs. But some of you will already have a degree, and so you can move right into a graduate program.
Hey, I'm just going to address a comment in there from my friend Monique. Monique, you're probably in the same boat as thousands of other people who did not know that we were expiring at any point in time in our world. So I just want to put that out there, that if you have an expired card and you haven't been able to get it renewed, don't worry about it. I think as a human being, you haven't changed, your world unless something dramatically happened. I would say that that's going to be okay, and encourage you to do it. They're going to have the same problem as they will with the passports. There's going to be this major flood of people trying to renew their status cards or whatever. So to my knowledge, I think it's going to be okay. I don't make the eventual end decision, but I think that would be okay.
Yeah, Asma Nahai asked about the deadline, and I'd like to stress again that the published deadline is July 24th. But please don't wait until July 24th, because the Royal Roads policy and our policy is that we take applications as soon as they arrive. And this program is limited to 20 people. So in future, that won't be the case. But for this year, if you wait till July 24th, you might be out of luck. So please get your applications in early. Thank you. Yes, Bachelor of Interdisciplinary Studies, quite right. Megan, MA in Environmental Education, but I managed to screw up. Have we got all the questions?
I think so. I was scrolling back to make sure we haven't missed
Yeah,
anything.
me too.
Yeah.
Really, if you have questions that you haven't asked, you get off and you say, oh my God, I should have asked that. Please email myself or Megan or Michael or Candace or Aaron or Christelle. Any of us will answer the question.
Here's another challenge for you wonderful humans and leaders that are here, is that if you don't sense or feel that this is for you appropriately at the moment in time, please pass it on to others. Send it around to as many other communities, because really that's the intent, is to get more and more more and more of our communities engaged in this conversation. And I think it's going to be really important. Unfortunately, we didn't have a whole lot of lead time to do a mass marketing opportunity, but this is what we're trying to do now. So if you know of people, if you know of communities, or you're connected to networks, young youth leadership networks or whatever, let's blast this information out and get as many students in there as we can. At the same time, you're applying, because if you send it out to everybody else and they apply and you forget to, you have to wait till next year.
Okay. HK, CMCA, all my relations, I hope to see you here. I think we've come to the end, but